Hey everyone, we're live again at the Paste Studios. We're live right now with Elise Davis. Elise, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I've been listening to your record quite a bit over the last weekend,
Awesome.
this last weekend, and looking forward to hearing 3 songs off of it. So Cactus is the record. Congratulations. It's
Thank
out
you.
in the world right now.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about the first song you're going to do from it?
Sure. After a bunch of events in my life and essentially realizing that I always was finding a way to be destructive in every relationship I was in, I sort of became a self-proclaimed lone wolf of a person. Or I just started to feel like maybe that's kind of the life that I'm meant to lead. And that ended up being a theme throughout the whole record. But this is a song about that called Lone Wolf. Tonight I wanna lay in your arms, laugh at your jokes, come when you ask, but I don't. Instead I cry alone in my car, parked in the dark, just to be anywhere but home. I think I'm starting to know who I am, and it scares me, because someone like me just might be at a loss. A bird sees a cage and it flies off. I always thought I'd trade the moon for the morning sun, but I look around and see that maybe I'm bound to be alone. Think I'm gonna open the door, look for a cure, try anything to get lost. Trains cry down below, feel like a ghost, walking where the railroads cross. Someone like me just might be at a loss. A bird sees a cage and it flies off. I always thought I'd trade the moon for the morning sun, but I look around and see that maybe I'm bound to be a lone wolf. A lone wolf. Yeah, someone like me just might be out of luck. I try to change, but babe, I only give up. I always thought I'd trade the stars for the morning sun, but I look around and see that maybe I'm bound to be. Yeah, I look around and see that maybe I'm bound to be a lone wolf. A lone wolf. A lone wolf. A lone wolf. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Tell me you're playing that on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
At the Mailroom on Wall Street. So you'll be playing The Lone Wolf on Wall Street.
Yes.
Which would be outstanding. I can't believe there's not a poster that says that somewhere.
I should do that.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds great. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you.
Here in this setting. Is this very similar, very dissimilar from I know this personally because I've been listening to it all weekend, but the arrangements on the album versus what you're doing here for Paste Studios today?
I would say, yeah, compared to others that we'll play in this stripped down way, there's not really like a full drum kit on that song or anything. But if we had 5 more of him right here, it could be similar to what the recording is. It's just a bunch of layers of ambient guitar, really.
And how did that, was that the first time that you had worked with an outside producer or have
it was the second time.
Okay.
The first time was with my first album, The Token, with a guy named Sam Kassir in Josh Ritter's band, actually, and we made it up in Maine. So, but I went back to Nashville for this one.
Nice. Well, I like it a lot.
Thanks.
And so what was it much different or Jordan's, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Jordan's style versus the production style on the first one?
An entirely different approach. When I made The Token, I had a band that we went to a cabin out in the woods, middle of nowhere in Maine, like no cell phone reception or anything. And we were holed up there for 10 days and we tracked most of it live. Even a lot of my vocals on the album are live. So the album feels very raw and very electric and, not really tuning on the vocals or anything like that. And, that was what I wanted for that album. But when you're in a scenario like that, a destination record, it's kind of like, you get what you get in that time period, and versus if you are going in a studio where you live, or you can go back and recut things over and over. So there's a beauty in that of you capture something in this time. But I wanted to do it differently with Cactus, and so I decided to do it in Nashville. My producer Jordan Lenning has a home studio, and that was really cool because we were able to take as long as we wanted without worrying about studio fees as long as we were there. And we spent about 6 months doing it. And we would record, and then I would be able to have a rough mix and take it with me while I was on jogs and listen to it and spend some time with it and go back and be like, actually, that song shouldn't even be on the album, or, so it was a totally different experience, a lot more refined, and we had a whole string section, and it was a lot more produced than the last one. But I might go and do what I did on The Token for the next one. I don't know. I like both ways of doing it.
Cool. Well, I'm glad for you that you had the opportunity to take the time to take as much time as you needed before the thing was done.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets that opportunity. So I'm stoked that it happened for you.
This is really cool.
Yeah, and all those decisions were excellent decisions. I like the album a lot. Hopefully, everyone who's watching right now gets a chance to check out Cactus. And can you tell us where you're gonna play second?
Sure. I kind of like to make concept records, so this song is still really happy and optimistic. It's called "Hold Me Like a Gun." Again, carrying on the theme of self-destruction, I would say. Just want to cheer y'all up today. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hotel pool, I watch the stars shining. I'm faded out enough to think I idolize him. stuck in my heart. Blame it on the restless soul I had from the start. I don't wanna wake up feeling so numb, but I know myself, you gotta hold me like a gun. You gotta hold me like a gun. You gotta hold me like a gun. Blame it on the arrows stuck in my heart. Blame it on the restless soul I had from the start. I don't wanna wake up feeling so numb, but I know myself, you gotta hold me like a gun. But I know myself, you gotta hold me like a gun. But I know myself, you gotta hold me like a gun. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can we talk? We've talked a little bit already about the themes on this album. The uplifting themes of loneliness and the myth of monogamy and marriage and all that. How has the process of writing this album been helpful and therapeutic for you, or are you just fully digging in and embracing the lone wolf
Well,
persona?
it's funny that you ask that because I recently turned 30, and I will say my whole 20s I lived that way. And when I wrote Cactus, every album I write is the only way I really know to write, or the songs I even like that I write are the ones that come from some place of truth in me. And so that album, speaking of that, is exactly who I was and exactly how I felt. And I finished recording it, and I was still kind of living my life that way. And a couple months later, I was drunkenly walking myself home from a bar and ended up meeting someone that I eventually became in a serious relationship with, that I actually live with now. Because I finished recording the album a little over a year ago now. But and looking back, I feel like in a way it was sort of a chapter ender for me without me even really knowing it. I think it was that, and also just coming across a person that changed the way I felt. But so my perspective has shifted a ton in the past year, and I don't know what the next record will be like. It definitely won't be a happy love record, though. I don't think I'm capable of writing that. But
you can still write in, even if you are happy, right? From the perspective of bummed out people, and write a bunch of characters into the next album.
No, I'm just someone who is really angsty and deals with depression a lot, and I write about that kind of stuff a lot. And I think about, I worry about things like politics and writing about loss of religion, and also, now I'm just finding myself kind of writing less about relationships and about other things a little bit more, which has been cool. But I'm still kind of diving into that to see what the next record will be like. But it's funny that being in a relationship, just the way that it's just life. You live, and your perspective changes as time goes on. And so, yeah, that the Cactus, the perspective I was in then, I definitely am not in right now.
Well,
who knows? Maybe I will be again.
Yeah, well, but there's plenty to be anxious about, and to worry about
Right.
and be bummed out about if a relationship is not one of those things. So
Yeah. It opens it up.
Plenty of deepness and darkness to dive into for number 3.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you're going to do third off of Cactus?
Yes. Kind of in the same vein of what we were just saying, and it's the only
song on the album that's in an alternate tuning, which is the bane of my existence, changing my tuning on stage. This song actually is the only song on the album that it doesn't directly fall into this lone wolf theme. Climate change is something that I worry a lot about and think a lot about, and it's hard not to when every day you open your phone and there's an incredibly scary headline.
See that iceberg floating through that town in Greenland the other day?
No.
I won't show you. Let's not talk about that anymore.
I want to see, but I don't want to see.
It's striking.
The one that stuck with me recently is on, because it's something that we all do every week. It's on average a person, unless you're good and you bring your reusable bags, but a person uses a plastic bag for a matter of 12 minutes, and then it takes 1,000 years to biodegrade. It's just, just little things like that to really think about. Anyway, I was thinking about this stuff, and I kept trying to write about it, but every time it was sounding preachy, and I just wasn't into it, and I finally decided to just change my approach and to go about it as writing more of a love song to the earth. So you might not know that if you hear the song. You might just think it's an actual love song of sorts, but the song is very much about climate change and my fears about it. Let me make sure my tuning's right. Okay, cool. You all good? Okay. This song is called Last Laugh. There for me, blue skies and fields of green, and the night stars glittering. I cried a deep blue sea, 'cause I see the ghost you'll be, your beauty's withering. I know you have the last laugh, still be here when it's all gone bad. We'll be like an old memory you had, and you'll still be spinning around. Close our eyes and stay the same, dancing beneath the poison rain, till it all goes up in flames. Hold a flower up to the sun, watch the petals fall one by one, like a thread unraveling. I know you have the last laugh, still be here when it's all gone bad. We'll be like an old memory you had, and you'll still be spinning around. Maybe we're just not meant to last. Maybe it's true, all things must pass. We'll be like an old memory you had, and you'll still be spinning around. You'll still be spinning around. You'll still be spinning around. you.
Right. Thank you. That sounded great. Thanks for sharing the songs with us. We just heard those 3 off of Cactus. Cactus is out in the world right now, and have a great show. On Saturday, you're doing the Lone Wolf on Wall Street at the Mail Room on Wall Street. And then there's a ton of dates announced. They're all up at EliseDavis.com. You're starting a headlining tour, which I didn't write down when that starts.
February 6th.
February 6th.
Yeah.
And there's dates announced through April 6th, I believe.
Yes.
So travel safely and have a lot of great shows, and best of luck on Cactus. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me in.